Hi, this is CJ with CJatCompRCC.com. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing a Kyosho Mini-z Moto Racer. This is a Casey Stoner replica. You're not familiar with MotoGP, you won't know who that is, but some of you may. These, I'm not going to call them kits, these are pre-built. You can certainly change them and there are performance parts available for them. This was actually kind of hard to come by. I ordered this from a shop in Japan. The Casey Stoner replicas in particular are pretty much gone. I think that Kyosho produces this kind of special item in a fairly limited quantity. If you're interested in something like this though, there are 3 different paint schemes, as it were. 2 different Yamaha liveries, a blue and a red, and a Ducati. None of them are a true race numbered livery like this replica, but they're still very nice, and it's the same vehicle, it's just aesthetics. And there is a lot of people out there who are doing custom body work on these. They're repainting what comes with the kits, or they are finding similarly sized scale kits and using some of the body work and or decals, or they're custom fabricating the parts. About this kit, these come complete with radio. If you do go looking for one of these, by the way, I'm sorry to change subject, but if you do go looking for one of these, do not pay more than about $210. When I was looking around for this one, I saw a handful of the standard Yamaha and Ducati color schemes on eBay. Some of them outrageous prices, $250, even over $300. They are available. A-Main Hobbies has some of them in stock. There are other stores that have them in stock. So don't get suckered in thinking you're getting something rare or unusual. Unless you can find one of these, and this was the last one at the particular shop I found it at. So let's have a look inside. Well, I'm going to tease you a little more. Let's have a look at the back. These things actually have 2 motors. It's got a 7,000 kV brushless motor that is a gyroscope, and that is inside the rear wheel, and those spin up. The radio gives you 2 different controls for the gyro, as well as the throttle and steering. There's a small cordless motor that actually drives the rear tire, and a little servo that handles the steering. And the way that works is it has a little wire that allows the steering to have a certain amount of flexibility all on its own, so the gyro can do its work, and when you initiate the servo, it moves the front fork to one side or another. Kyosho has a handful of aftermarket parts available for these, as well as this particular item, the little wire mechanism that comes off of the servo. They sell those in a 3-pack, and just like springs for a car, it comes in 3 different strengths, so that can influence your handling. And it comes complete with a battery, and that's a little mini lipo, a USB cord, and a USB charger for the battery, and there's a USB port on the back of the handset, so if you're out running this in a parking lot or a school gym or something like that, you can recharge your battery from your transmitter. And it has full ball bearings. If you are familiar with the Mini-Z line of cars, you know how much work Kyosho puts into the detail of their vehicles. It's pretty outstanding. I'm looking forward to getting a Mini-Z in at some point, but since I was able to find this particular bike, I could not resist. And I'm going to go ahead and hold this up for you so you can see the detail is just outstanding. These are partially handmade. A lot of the body work, the decaling and such And it doesn't even look like decals. It almost looks like it's painted on. They're so well done. It even comes with a little stand that you can launch the bike off of. But as you can see, this is really palm of the hand stuff. And if you look at the helmet detail, it is just insane. That's why I'm almost tempted to get another one of the Yamahas or the Ducati, to actually zoom around and bump it around a bit. This is almost something that belongs on a shelf. I am definitely going to run it a bit, but I'm going to be a lot more cautious with this, because that's a real piece of art there. It's just fantastic. I've actually seen the insides on these before. The drive motor is back here, mounted linearly across the frame here at the back of the swing arm, and there's a whole series of intermeshing gears inside of the swing arm on this side that drive the rear tire. And then of course there's a couple of wires that come out this side that are housed inside this side of the swing arm, and those run the gyro. There are some little arms that come off the side, and they've got these little round plastic nubs on them that help it touch down. And let me see if I've got something handy so I can show you the lean angle on this. So that is how low this can go before it's sliding against these little stops, and that's exactly what they're for. Now, a lot of people upgrade these. Kyosho makes a set that have basically a ball bearing on it, a sealed bearing, and there's no wheel or anything on the bearing. The bearing surface is an angle, so as it touches down, it just rolls along the ground. It makes them a little less prone to catching on carpeted surfaces and such. There's a fairly long list of upgrade parts for these. For example, there's a full aluminum fork set made by Kyosho. These do actually have suspension in the front, and it is adjustable. You can, using a small Allen key, there's a hole in the top of each fork and you can adjust that. And there's also full rear suspension with quite a good amount of travel for such a small vehicle. And that can also be adjusted. There's a screw under the seat. So let me just set this down for now, and let's go over what else comes in the box. In case you're wondering, the normal price for these in Japan, with shipping, it cost me a little over 20,000 yen, which worked out to about $186. I believe it was in the 160, mid 160 range, not including the shipping. So again, if you're buying it here in the United States, don't pay more than the $210 that the major RC retailers are selling them for. This is supposed to be, how does that come out? I thought it was a press in. Ah, there we go. There's a release button. And it is spring loaded. Little rack of batteries here. Looks like 4. You just slide that on in, snaps into place. Here's that USB port that I was telling you about. 2.4 gigahertz, so no issues. It comes bound to the bike, and we have gyro speed here and here, power button, and steering trim. And I don't think there's throttle trim because of the gyro controls. That's probably what is, that part of the channel is probably being used for that. And that's, I don't want to pull on those wires. There we go. One very small lipo battery, and there's a reason for this tab. Once the batteries are slid in here, you need to be able to get it back out again. Sometimes it'll drop out. There's a little panel right here, the bottom of the fairing, that snaps off, and you slide the battery vertically into the bike. Here is the charger, one USB port and 2 battery ports, so it can charge 2 batteries at one time. And this would work off of a car USB port that you could plug into a cigarette lighter or into a wall outlet, or in a pinch. I mean, it is going to run down the transmitter batteries, but you can charge one and charge a handful of them off that way. I also ordered a battery in advance. It actually beat the bike here, but I was really impressed with the shipping from Japan. I had a tracking number. I saw it hit Tokyo. It hopped from Tokyo to LaGuardia, and then it was down to my house. I think it took 4 days from the time that I ordered it to the time I received it, so not unimpressive. Certainly, I didn't pay for express shipping or anything. I just went with the cheapest option. The batteries are about $11. So picking up an extra battery or two is not very expensive. Let's see what else, if anything, comes with this. Yes, there's a couple of tools. There's a little Allen wrench. That's adjusting the shocks and possibly other things, and a set of tweezers for, among other things, taking the batteries out. And of course, an instruction book. So I'm going to keep this short since this is just an unboxing video. If you like this video, please click like. Please subscribe to my channel and you'll get notification of new videos like this that come out and other interesting products that I get my hands on.